Alright, that was the Chicago Bull music intro. Let's just get into it straight away. Yet again. Um, Terrible round. Well, not that bad, I guess. I still can't pick a captain. I hate I hate my captain choices every round so far. Kelly, he died, man. He basically just fell apart in the second half against the Hawks. Um, I had it on Rowan Marshall about 20 seconds before the Hawks Giants game started, and then last minute I switched it to Kelly. God damn it. Would not have minded that 54 points. But anyways, it's always sliding doors stuff um, with my team. Um, this week, I was around 5k off trading Jinby and Mackenzie for Butters and Anderson. In retrospect, I should have traded for Butters and Stewart, getting rid of Mackenzie and Jinby, something like that, and I would have been able to hold Warple for his 114. But if you listened to my video last week, if you still had Warple, I advised on holding him just to see if he gets forward status as well as seeing how he goes this week, and he did really well. Didn't get forward status, but you'd be keeping him now after that 114 he scored. And yeah, just basically cancelled out my pick on Butters, which I thought was really good, which is annoying, but whatever, you know. Who knows how the season goes? So I dropped back to this 15,000, 14,000 area because of captain and basically, not having day costs. That's basically it. Day costs is just destroying my year. Picking McGrath instead of him is a big, big sadness, but whatever. We keep going, folks. Um, yeah, so brought in Anderson, didn't take his 107 because I wanted to go big and it didn't work. Having Kelly there. Just got to keep learning from the mistakes you make. Mackenzie being dropped for some reason and being sub was odd, but yeah, that one was a bit bizarre. I think I'm just going to jump into trading. Keep this video nice and short. Again, the dogs, both McRae and Bont, 65 plus around that mark at halftime, falling to nothing again. Man, oh man. Whatever. Whatever. Team's progressing. It's whatever, guys. It is what it is. I've noticed around the blocks, most people that have rookies on their field that aren't Shizel and Ashcroft are still looking at having around 3 or 4 of these like Chandler and Mackenzie types on ground, the Wilmots, you know. With my trades this week, now have none besides Ashcroft and Shizel, who are basically borderline premiums at this stage. I'm just jumping on what I saw from last week with good rolls and scoring and Johannesson and Jones. Chase and Jace, the operation, the Chase Jace space race. Couldn't have better lingo for my trade in targets this week. And yeah, trading out Jimmy and Mackenzie. You could you could maybe hold both of these guys because they'll be back in the team, but their price rise isn't gonna happen if they can have rises in price again this year for a while. So I'm keen to just knock these guys out. They've made their cash, they played their part. And I'm jumping on Johannesson, who's back in the defense for the Dogs, where he has averaged 93 and won a Norm Smith in before. I mean, you think of everyone that's being bevoed at Western Bulldogs, and no one's actually probably been bevoed more than Johannesson. Being sent forward for the past maybe 2 years and not really being that good at it and getting dropped from the team because of that. And this guy wanted Norm Smith playing on the halfback, and he hasn't really played there until the couple of last weeks this season. Kind of a joke that Beveridge is still a AFL level coach when he's doing things like that. But yeah, Johannessen's back there now. It's whatever. Forward and defender status now after DPPs, and he's a great swingman. Gonna create cash, and he could end up being a keeper. Scored 98 in a pretty good outing against Port. Taking some kick in. So I really like Johannesson, guys. If you're interested, again, he's averaged in the 80s a lot and a 93 in that premiership season for the Dogs. So it's just, I really like it. Chase Jones as well, blown away by how much not only possession but ground he was covering against Carlton. I've always been a fan of Jones simply because, I don't know, I like his name. He's definitely taken a bit longer to develop as a higher draft pick than most, but he's still like 23, and it's very fascinating how quickly supporters, some coaches, everyone can just discount like basically kids still, man. I mean, 23, he's a mature aged guy now, but yeah, some don't get the chance to really develop into their bodies and brains at AFL level, to be honest. Your brain stops developing at 23 from my understanding. That's when it stops, you're fully grown. So Jonesy looked like he came of age against Carlton, and I really liked his role. He was basically everywhere on the ground. At stages, he was in the forward line. He kicked the goal, he was on the wing, but he wasn't like just hanging out right at the edges of the game. He would be one of the, like another midfielder coming in. He was getting chips off the half back, and he would go from wing to the other wing and like in one play that isn't like goal after goal. Very fascinating seeing him just roam around this game, and his score showed that. Yeah, he was really good the week before, and the week before that he was sub. So he's just really come into the team and cemented a spot, I would say, for at least another 2 or 3 weeks if he doesn't play well. If he does play well, he's continuing, and for the rest of the season, I would think in that Crows outfit, I just really liked the way he played, and gives me an excuse to bring in Jones. I mean, it's always fun having some players you have an affinity for. So yeah, really like those trades because I now have an advantage, which is only having Ashcroft and Sheasel as my rookies on the field. So I've got a lot of mid-priced guys. They're not exactly all performing, but again, who knows what happens in a week, man? You never know this kind of game. I will be looking to, in the next coming weeks, not really focus on mid prices at all anymore. I mean, most this week will be doing a downgrade, upgrade, and getting an extra premium on the field. So people like Laird, he's probably the cheapest he'll be all year. I was thinking about trading him in this week, but I'm happy to let him have another game against the Hawks. He'll probably do quite well, but yeah, I'm interested in just making sure I don't have any of these dodgy rookies on my field. That's my that's the sort of strategy I've fallen into. So yeah, trade targets besides Laird, I guess, anyone with the round 9 buy is definitely someone you want to be jumping on. If you don't, Miller, probably the lowest he'll be all season coming up against North. Stewart again, he dropped in price for probably the last time this year. Super cheap. He's one you want to jump on now, next week, coming into that time frame. Those are probably the two premium targets I would be looking at first ahead of anyone else, Miller and Stewart, because they do have the round 9 bye, which will be a great benefit to anyone that has those guys. So yeah, Anderson, Miller, Stewart. I don't really, off the top of my head, can think of anyone else from those two teams you definitely want to be having for the rest of the year. So yeah, those three are pretty important trade targets coming up now. And then yeah, just those falling premiums. Brayshaw's dropping in price a lot. He's one to watch. Scoring a 70 this week. He's going to have a massive break even. A lot of these guys are really crashing in price. There's lots of people to watch over the next few weeks. You have Green. He might be one you need to trade out if he gets 2 weeks for his tackle. Yeah, Mills crashing in price. Smith forward status, but he's going to have a high break even and is injured still, Lots to play out. Lots and lots to play out, guys. I just want to pick a captain for once in my goddamn life. Butters against the Eagles as a vice captain? Yeah. Highest score in the game this week. Maybe does it this week? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want a good captain for once. If he doesn't get a 100, I don't know. I don't know what score I should be looking for with my captains now, man. They all fail. Is 100 and, I guess I have to be taking 107. Thinking Kelly's going to get 110 plus against the Hawks. Gets a 79. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. Anyways, next week I'll be looking at my trade out targets. Chandler's definitely getting there in price gen. Depending on what he scores next week, he's probably one to jump off. But Melbourne have pretty decent games coming up, so it remains to be seen what he can do. But yeah, the Chandlers, Hollands, Pickett, if he doesn't have a good game, McKenna, Stocker, then Hunt. All these guys are looking at fully priced and ready to be downgraded/upgraded. So yeah, can't wait for next week to see what happens. If you are watching this and just have a question, send it away. Good luck next week or this week, whatever. Have fun and make adjustments where necessary. Peace.